All right. Happy holidays, everybody. We hope you had a great 25th of December. This is the Rocker Dog Podcast, the show that talks to musicians about their dogs and how awesome they are. Their dogs, that is, although our guests are usually equally as awesome as well, and such is the case with this week's artist, singer-songwriter Lydia Luce, whose latest album, Florida Girl, was released in late October and is available on CD, vinyl, and streaming everywhere. And this is her adventure-loving rocker dog.
Yeah, her name is Bobby, and she is a 3-year-old Aussie Border Collie mix, and we found her on Craigslist.
Okay. I saw the video, I guess it must have been an Instagram story, where your husband said, "We went to a farm and now we have a puppy."
Yeah.
Which leads me to ask, was he going to do that? Was that a surprise? Or when you, like you said, you found it on Craigslist, was this all premeditated?
It was semi-premeditated. We were like really wanting to, it was during COVID. So we were like, now is the time to get a dog. Because he was a touring musician. I have been as well. And we were just like, when are we going to do it? So we were looking for, she's rubbing her body against the couch right now. We were looking for a dog, but everybody was wanting a puppy during that time. And all of the rescue places were like, just really didn't have many dogs. So I was just on Craigslist, and on the first page, a picture of her popped up, like the 4th listing. And I was just like, this is our dog. It just felt like I just knew instantly. But my husband was like, let's go meet her. And they had like maybe 1 or 2 other pups. And he was like, I don't know, we should maybe meet the other ones. And I was like, no, this is Bobby and this is our dog. I already had like a name in mind for her. So then we went about an hour outside of Nashville in this like really rural area, and got to meet her. And right when he met her, he was like, yeah, this is our dog.
And what did the name have significance?
Kind of. Well, she does have a little bobtail because I guess the owners, this breed, they cut off their tails, which serves no purpose really. Right. But so she's got a little bobtail. And then also when we were on Craigslist looking at Bobby, we were also watching a Playboy documentary, and Hugh's assistant's name was Bobby. And I was like, that is such a great name for a girl dog.
Yes.
So it really just all kind of just came together.
Yeah. Well, I commend you on not naming it a David Bowie reference, because doesn't she have the 2 colored eyes?
Yes, she does.
Okay, because I see that all the time, and it's like, okay, that's just too tried and true at this point of.
Yeah, it's been done.
Did you know much about the breed when you got it?
We were familiar because our neighbor has a border collie, and then we have another friend that has 2 border collies, and we loved them. And we're both very active people. We wanted an active dog. And so she is very active, more so than we could have ever anticipated. She's definitely chilled out a little bit now that she's 3, but like the first couple of years, I think her being the Aussie and the border collie, like 2 of the most hyper dogs.
It's the perfect storm of active dog.
Yeah. She was a wild puppy. But she's so much fun and like just down to do whatever. Like we've toured with her in a school bus. She's been on boats, on planes, she's lived in a bus. Like she's done so many things.
Yeah, I took note that you described her as an adventure buddy, kayaking, mountain climbing, paddleboarding. Is there anything she doesn't like, in terms of activities, or anything that she doesn't take to?
Oh, yeah. She hates rollerblading. She hates rollerbladers. I wouldn't have gone skateboarders. She's like really triggered by rollerbladers and skateboarders for whatever reason. So every time we live by this amazing park in Nashville, and every time we're on a walk, I have to just be like, where are the rollerbladers and skateboarders? Like we have to just go and give little treats and kind of hide her from them.
Right. It's funny. I wonder what
For
triggers her about that.
I don't know. It might be the noise,
Yeah, that's what I was
but she
thinking.
does have like funny little triggers, like where when we got her so young, like she hasn't had any trauma that we're aware of. She's a very bougie dog. Like I would like to come back as my dog. So I don't know what has led to such trauma with rollerbladers, but
Yeah,
that's what we're working with.
funny. And you did mention, the bus living, the touring. So she has been on tour with you as a musician, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to go through her rocker dog credentials. So she's been on tour. Has she been on record? Is she recorded
No.
anywhere?
Oh, well, actually, she has been in a live video and she has been in like a little music video and then tons of like, promo, like her with vinyl records. And when she was younger, I put little merch shirts on her because I mean,
Nice.
she's super cute.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, there was a great video from the Garden and Gun back porch sessions where she was at
Yes.
your feet, and what a great girl. I mean, she was, behaved through the whole thing.
Yeah, she did really well with that. Everybody was obsessed with her.
Has she inspired any music in you?
I haven't written any songs about her yet, but I think they will probably come.
Okay.
She's good to like she's always around when I'm writing and she's just a really good like she always kind of falls asleep when either we're rehearsing or like I'm playing guitar, piano. She's very mellow when music is happening.
Okay. And I noticed the question was going to be, has she been on any merchandise? I know she's been on the T-shirt when you were doing the bus tour. She was with
Yes.
your three. Has she been on, and I know you said she models your merchandise. Has she had any other merchandise that features her?
I don't think so. I think that's the only shirt. My husband designed that one. Yeah, not yet, but maybe. I mean, again, she's really cute, so there's just endless opportunity.
Yes. And does she have, again, this is Rocker Dog credentials. Does she have any groupies?
Oh yeah. I mean, when we've like been on these the bus tours and the people know that we're bringing her, like everyone knows about Bobby. So she definitely has fans.
Okay. And I also know she has musician friends. I'm going to be talking to Bree Kennedy, who I believe
Yes.
you know. So I don't know if Bobby knows Moosh or if they've ever mixed
Hmm.
before.
They love each other.
Oh, good. That's funny to know.
Yeah.
And also, I had a guest on a few months back, Joanna Samuels, that has her
Yeah.
dog June.
Yes. June, they haven't met yet, but I'm hoping that they will. I feel like they will get along. But Joanna has drawn a picture of Bobby
That's right.
before.
That's right. I
Yes.
saw that. That's how I made the connection.
Yes, she's so talented. I gave that to my husband as I think a Christmas gift. It was so good.
Yeah, that's great. Anybody else I don't know of? There may be many, but anybody else
Yeah,
that you can think of that are fellow musicians with dogs that you guys kind of socialize together?
definitely. Her best friend, I don't know if you're familiar with Jordy Lane. He's so talented. He and his partner, they're from Australia. So, I mean, Bobby feels very comfortable with their Australian accents.
Nice.
But their dog Tazzy is Bobby's best friend. And they're neighbors. They live in Nashville and we see them all the time. And both of them have grown up in this very musical community of with their parents. But yeah, that is her absolutely best friend. Oh, and this girl, Tim Scott, who's based in LA, we've watched her dog before, Rooster, and they are
Great
really
name.
close. Bobby loves little dogs, like Moosh and Bobby got along really well.
That's so funny. That's
Yeah.
good. Is your dog very social? I mean, does she ever run into a dog that she doesn't like or get along with?
Yeah, she has these weird, like there's certain dogs that she's like, no, I don't like you. Like, and a lot of times it's like a really cute golden retriever. Like they're like the most docile, sweet dogs,
Right.
but Bobby, for whatever reason, is like, I don't like you. And if it's like a bigger kind of like more masculine, uh like, or I guess a little bit of an aggressive like dog, like she doesn't like them.
Hmm.
But she has her besties, and we stick to those as much
Yeah.
as we can.
Great. And speaking of touring, you have obviously been on tour with her on occasion, but not always. And also, you travel quite a bit. I noticed there was a post from Sri
Yeah.
Lanka, and your comment was, "I swear we're coming back home soon,
Yeah.
Bobby." Addressing her by name. Who do you trust with her when you can't take her on tour or take her traveling?
Well, Jordy and his partner, Claire Reynolds, they love watching Bobby. And often, like, people will be like, like, she's a really good dog. So often people will be like, please let us watch Bobby when you leave. So we've gotten really lucky, actually. And we were gone for a month. That was for our honeymoon. We were traveling for a month, and Bobby had many different watchers during that time. And yeah, she's just a really lovable dog. But Jordy and Claire are that we call their home her vacation home,
Right.
because she loves going there, and she gets to just hang out with her best friend all day, and it's perfect.
That's great. Does she show any separation anxiety, or can she roll with it?
I think that month was hard for her because we did end up having to have a couple of different people watch her. But now that we know she loves going to Jordy and Claire's house, I think we'll probably just try to get them to watch her as often as possible. But I mean, I think if she trusts the person, like she's just really happy with people.
Hmm.
I mean, I think we have some separation anxiety from her
Right.
because we're obsessed with her.
Now,
Like we were
what's
on our
your
honeymoon and we just watch videos of her.
That's funny. That's funny. Now, what is your personal history with dogs, or your husband's history with dogs? Did you guys both have dogs growing up, or were you always wanting dogs, and that's why you went out and got Bobby?
Yeah, I grew up with dogs and he did too. We're both just like really big dog fans. My first dog was a golden retriever named Ruby, and then my parents got a dog named Sarah, and she was an Alaskan Malamute living in Florida,
Oh
weirdly.
my gosh.
Yeah,
Like,
they rescued her in Florida, and yeah, she wasn't a big fan of the summer. So we both grew up with dogs and have just been. We were waiting for like the right time to get a dog, and wanted to get a puppy and raise a puppy together. So it
yeah.
was great. Yeah.
Now, I came across a couple. I just curious to ask about, who is Woodson? He was a chocolate lab.
Oh yeah, that is our friends, also neighbors, and they're also obsessed with Bobby. And Bobby loves Woodson. That's his full name. He also goes by Woody. He's like an older gentleman, and I've been friends with them for like his dad is a musician, Charles Johnson, as well, and Bobby has been friends with them since she was a puppy, and her Woodson's sister, Penny, is a Yorkie. And Bobby has become like obsessed with little dogs. So she loves Penny now.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, does she think that it's a squirrel?
And another dog I see pop up is this, I don't have a name, but a white German Shepherd.
That's my parents' current dog.
Okay.
Yeah, her name is Luna, and we were just talking about her. We're going to be spending Christmas with Luna, and then my brother's dog Juno also. So the three of them will be hanging out together, and they get along pretty well.
That's good. Good to know.
There are three big dogs all together for Christmas, so it's always like three dogs, my parents, and then my brother and my brother's kids. It's like all very full house.
Yeah. Sounds like fun.
It is fun.
And the wedding, was she a part of the wedding? I saw she was in some of the pictures, but was she the ring bearer? Did she have any role, or was she just a kind of a guest?
Yeah, she did have a big role, and I think it was a little overwhelming for her because she was like, what are my parents doing? Why are they up there? We had my brother walk her down like as a part of the processional just before, I think it was just before the kids with the rings, our nieces and nephews. And Bobby, we had to get Jordy and Claire again. Claire had to bring Bobby kind of like to another area because Bobby was pretty much crying the whole time because she wanted to be right next to us. So
That's funny.
like looking back, we're like, maybe we would have like either had her be right next to us or not there because she was so confused. Like, okay, why am I not with my parents? Like my
Yeah.
parents are up there and everybody's watching me and them. And it was, I think, a lot, but we haven't actually edited the wedding footage yet, but the videos, but I'm like, she's going to be crying.
That's so funny.
Majority. Yeah. Wanting to be right next to us.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
Oftentimes I ask if there's been any drama or stories or, ER visits. And I did notice that you had a parvo incident.
Yeah, that was so scary. She was 6 months and she had had the parvo vaccine. It was super weird. She got really sick and it was like 3 days before Christmas. And we had taken her to the vet immediately, and our vet didn't test her for parvo immediately. And then they gave her IV fluids. Then we took her home, and then she was still sick. So we ended up taking her to the hospital. And she spent like 4 days at the
Oh
hospital.
my gosh.
But they ended up, because she'd already had the vaccine company ended up paying all of the hospital bills,
Wow.
which was amazing because like 4 days in a hospital really adds up. And she
Yeah.
ended up being fine. I don't think she was too They were really great. This hospital was wonderful with her, but I don't think she was too traumatized. She doesn't like the vet that much, but I don't know if any dogs do.
Yeah.
But she's totally fine now. And yeah, she made it through, but it was definitely really scary.
Do you have any idea where she would have been exposed?
No, the only thing that I thought maybe was a potential parvo exposure was she went through a phase of eating other dogs' poop. Because we really didn't like we did the vaccines, we kept her away from other puppies while she was young, but she went through this really bummer of a phase where that was like my only thought, because that's how dogs get it. And luckily that was somewhat short-lived,
Yeah.
because
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
pretty nasty.
To say I'm lucky to knock on wood. I haven't been through that stage.
Good. I'm happy for you for that.
One of the other things I noticed through your social is you guys seem to be doing the training for her, as she's
Yeah.
self-trained through you and your husband. And you had one post that said that you caved and she's a couch dog. So was there intent that she wasn't going to be on the furniture when you first got her?
Yeah, we were like, no dogs in the bed, no dogs on the couch. And then I think probably month two, we caved.
Did you
We
have
were
her
like, she's
trained
so
to be
cute.
not to go on bed or couch, and
Yeah,
then sooner or later it's like it's just much better to have her with you, I guess, or your husband when you're on the bed and the couch.
yeah, and that was really great. But she did like now she's like 53 pounds. So like in the beginning, we were like, oh, we'll just whatever, we'll just let her on the bed, it's fine. And we did train her to ask for permission, which is a really silly thing now. Like she still asks for permission, but her asking for permission is just like she puts her head on the bed and she just kind of cries, or she just stares at you and she'll just wait there. And they're like, okay, yeah, you can go. You go every night. Like nothing's changed.
That's great that she still has the discipline to do that, though.
Yeah, she remembered. But now that she's 55 pounds, like it's great. We have a king size bed here, but anytime we travel, we're like, and in the bus too, we're like, this is getting pretty tight having her in the bed with us.
Oh, I saw that she did have that nook right by the window, was it, at times?
Oh, we went on a road trip and we were in my Subaru and we had a little nook for
Okay.
her. And yeah, she does sometimes sit in the bus. She does sometimes sit in the chair, but even now she's a little too big for that. So she'll mostly when we're driving in the bus, she'll get back in the bed and just like nap back there because it's also the most comfortable spot. But
Hmm.
yeah, we're hoping that she stays this size.
Now, out of all the things you do when you travel with her, you take her kayaking and do all this stuff, what would you say is the biggest indulgent you bestow on your dog? Maybe in terms of monetary. Like, has she been, has she gotten
Yeah.
anything? Has she been, how do you spoil her the worst?
I mean, her bougie dog food.
Oh, I can. Yeah, we were the, you know what? I went through that phase and luckily my dog's very picky and stopped eating it.
Oh, lucky you. Yeah, she's really picky too, but she loves we have her on this food called Mave, and it comes frozen. It's like raw. It's bougie as hell. And
Yes.
but she will not eat her other food. Like she would go like 2 days without eating. And now she's been on this for a couple months and she loves it. So by far that is the bougiest thing. Like this is like really nice quality food. Like if we cooked it, we could probably eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny when we went through that phase, I won't name any until they pay to be a sponsor. I'm not going to name any names, but
Yes.
on their box, it said, if you're not completely satisfied, send it back. We'll eat it, which I thought was a funny little marketing.
Wow. Yeah.
So, well, I wrap up every show with what I call the Zoomies, and they're called that because they're going to be, well, not rapid fire, but just the last 5 quick questions.
Okay.
So the first question is, do you kiss Bobby on the mouth?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the correct answer. There might not be a right or wrong answer, but that's the correct answer.
Okay, great.
Question 2 is, do you have a theme song for her? Do you either have a song that reminds you of her, that's a recording that's out there, or have you given her a song of her own?
Oh my gosh. We don't, but she has an accent.
An Australian accent?
I don't know why. No, actually, it's like no. We don't have a theme song, but I guess the first thing that came to mind, and since this is rapid fire, was we have given her this like Long Island accent.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
Makes zero sense other than my husband's from Long Island, so like his whole family has this like very Long Island like accent. So anytime we were like either one of us would travel, we would send videos of her and we'd be like, "Hey mom, Bobby here. Like just went on a walk with dad. We're really missing you." So that's Bobby's voice.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
That actually answers the 4th question, which
Okay, great.
I'll reiterate. But question 3 is, your dog does tour with you. If you could add something on the rider for your dog, what would your dog want to be on the rider just for her?
Oh, I mean, peanut butter for sure.
Okay. Does she do in the Kong or on one of those boards that's hard to lick off, or is she just like straight out of the jar?
She'll whatever way it comes. Like we've gotten into this habit of when we're out, if the jar is empty, I just give her the jar to lick, and she loves it.
Yeah, it's funny. We just finished a jar, and the jars are so hard to clean to recycle. But it's like, duh, I should have just given it to the dog, like clean the jar.
Exactly. Yeah, they get in there.
I learned something new from my own podcast. Thank you for that.
And it's a free Kong. You don't have to buy a Kong.
So yeah, 4 was, do you have a dog? Do you have a dog voice? Like, do you speak to her in a cutesy voice, or do you give your dog a voice? So you have given your dog a voice, which the Long Island accent is, especially on an Australian Shepherd, is perfectly scripted.
Yeah, it makes zero sense, but it's perfect. It's literally perfect. But I mean, we talk to her like a baby.
Yeah.
And my husband and I are about to start trying to have a baby. And I'm like, she's going to be so confused because anytime we talk in a baby voice to anybody else or any other dog or an actual baby, she's like, "What? I'm right here. What? What do you want? What do you want?" Like, I'm the baby, duh.
I love it. Love it.
Yes.
And last but not least, is there a dog organization or service that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah. I mean, I think our vet, 5 Points Animal Hospital, has been great for us. Yeah. And
is that the place that had to take her in, hospitalize her for parvo at the time?
No, I am blanking on the name of that hospital. I can like see it in my brain, but there she is.
She knows the name.
Yeah, she's telling you, but we can't. It's in her she's got a thick Long Island accent, so you can't understand it. But yeah, 5 Points has been really great for us too, and so I would shout them out.
All right, that works for us. Well, Lydia, thanks for taking your time to come on the Rocket Dog podcast and share Bobby with us. It's always a pleasure for me to meet these dogs and the artists behind them. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having Bobby and I.
It's my pleasure, and tell her goodbye, and best of luck to you in 2024 already. Oh my gosh, I was going to say 2023.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Thank you. You as well.